Wow, what an amazing opening week to the Grey Cup playoffs, huh? Two division semifinal games, both went down to the wire up there in Hamilton and in Vancouver. Let's start with the East game. The East game was kind of back and forth, though. Edmonton was leading most of the way, and the Eskimos proved why they're the defending champs. The league kind of did slip away, but they did manage to get the victory late. A game-winning drive, which was capped off by a field goal with 1 second left, gave the Eskimos the victory. So now they're off to the East Division final, and it was an amazing game. I do feel for Hamilton, because especially since Caleros threw that interception deep in his territory, in his own side of the field. I mean, that was just, oh man. So the Edmonton Eskimos are off to the East Division final. That's right, the East. They're the crossover team this year, and they're off to the East Division final against the Ottawa Red Blacks. Ooh. Remember, this was last year's Grey Cup championship, Edmonton and Ottawa. Edmonton won that game 26-20 to win the Grey Cup. In order to play for the Grey Cup again, they have to beat Ottawa. So it should be a pretty good and interesting game. But the West semifinal. Ooh, boy. I watched this whole thing. I thought, damn, don't tell me Winnipeg is going to win this whole thing. Winnipeg had a big lead. They dominated that whole game, the whole half, the whole third quarter, even most of the fourth quarter. But as time went by, the Bombers were losing that lead. And they finally lost it with a clutch drive by the Lions late in the fourth quarter. They got in the end zone with about 30 or 40 some seconds left. They missed a 2-pointer, so it was a 1-point game, meaning Winnipeg did have a chance to get the field goal range. But they said strong Lions defense, it wasn't to be. So, BC is in the West final. They're off to Calgary. Interesting thing about this is the Stampeders have the league's best record, 15-2-1. One of those two losses, however, their very first of the season, was in Week 1 in Calgary against the BC Lions. Could that be an omen? Who knows? And seeing how Edmonton advanced to the division final, we could see the Battle of Alberta for the Grey Cup. And I don't think it's been a while since Calgary and Edmonton faced off. We're going to hockey here. It's been a while since the Flames and Edmonton Oilers have faced off in the playoffs, faced each other in the playoffs. But we could see the Stampeders and the Eskimos played against each other for the actual Grey Cup. Remember last year, Edmonton and Calgary faced each other in the West Division final, with Edmonton winning en route to capture the Grey Cup. Now we could see the Alberta teams face off for the whole shebang. But Ottawa and BC have something to say about that. And like I said, the Lions are certainly capable of beating the Calgary Stampeders. They did it in Week 1 on the road at that. So anything is possible. I mean, yes, it's a completely different scenario from all the way back in June. We're talking what, 5 months difference, but anything is possible in sports. The Chicago Cubs definitely proved that when they won the World Series over a week ago. So again, the division finals, the final round before the championship, that's tomorrow. Edmonton in the Canadian capital against the Red Blacks, and the Lions and the Stampeders in Hart Country in Calgary. And so Canada's really gonna be rocking this weekend because you have the Grey Cup playoffs up there, and NXT's takeover event and Survivor Series in Toronto. So it's gonna be a hell of a time up there in Canada. So but yeah, those games were absolutely amazing. Those were the best playoff games I've seen in a while. Though, well, not I shouldn't say in a while because I've only been watching Canadian football since 2013. But those were great games. And I have a feeling the Grey Cup Championship, which whoever ends up playing for, that's going to be good. And so with that, that's my brief review of the Division Semifinals. Division Finals is today. The Grey Cup game the Division Finals is tomorrow. The Grey Cup game is next Sunday. The East game between Edmonton and Ottawa, the Eastern Final, that's on ESPN. I think that's on ESPN too. With that, so with that, I'll say, good day, and have fun enjoying the rest of the Grey Cup playoffs. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be an amazing postseason. I just know it. And a little correction. I said it's going to be on ESPN 2. It's actually on ESPN News. It's on the ESPN News digital cable channel. So the ESPN News channel has the Red Blacks at Eskimos, the Eastern Final tomorrow. So that's my omission. So good day. Enjoy the playoffs. It's going to be good.